Hi, it's Sherri from A Quilting Life, and I'm here today to share some works in progress for January 2025. This is my first works in progress video for this year. Some of these things I actually finished up in the end of December, but it has been since we shared our last video. So I've got some fun things to share with you, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, first I want to share these winter placemats that I just finished. I actually have never really had winter placemats for my table, and this year when I started putting away the Christmas things, I was determined to have some winter placemats. So this is actually a new PDF pattern that I have in the shop. It actually has this placemat design and also a heart design for February. So I haven't made the February ones yet, but I got the January ones made, and I went ahead and used the Denim and Daisies collection by Joanna Figueroa for Fig Tree. I had some of that on hand that was in a sew sampler box, and so I just took out the darker blues and the lights, and really love how these turned out. I actually used the cheater print from the Denim and Daisies collection for the backing on these placemats, so I feel like they are kind of reversible too. And then for binding, I wasn't sure what I was going to do because I just had, I pieced all of these from Jolly Bar fabrics that were in my sew sampler box, but I found that my navy print that Fat Quarter Shop produced along with the Strawberry Lemonade collection just worked perfectly for binding. So really excited to be able to use that, and really excited about these placemats. I will get going on the February ones right away, so I have them ready to share with you next month, but both placemat patterns are included in the PDF. Okay, next, I made some of these zipper bags for some of my friends for Christmas, and I made one for myself. This is a by Annie pattern that I really like. It's called Quick Zip Cases. I think she might have a Quick Zip Cases 2.0 now, but it's just a really fast and fun pattern. Everything is pretty much finished inside. You bind your edges, and the zipper kind of encases the fabric right there. And I just used fabrics that I had already had quilted with Soft and Stable, and then I do love the by Annie zippers. And this is just a great size pouch for pencils, markers, makeup, sewing tools. A rotary cutter will fit in here, and lots of other notions. So it's just a great bag. I gave them to my friends, and some of them are going to use them for makeup, and some of them are going to use them for pencils. And pretty excited that I had an extra one for myself too, because it had been a while since I had made a batch of these. Okay. On the table, this is actually an older panel from Vanessa Lella Boutique. I believe I talked about this in the probably October or November. No, it must have been the November works in progress, and I mentioned that I was going to use the Moda Fireside on the back, which I did. It is back from the quilter. My quilter Marion did a pretty dense pattern on here, but this is so soft and lovely. I feel like these panels, the fabrics are a little bit thinner, so this is just kind of a really just scrumptious. It just really gathers up so softly and nicely. And I will tell you that Marion, my quilter, she doesn't love quilting on these. They are a little bit stretchy, and so what she reminded me of was that the next time I bring her a quilt with that is that I need to kind of increase the size of the backing. That way it's not as difficult for the long armor to manipulate that on the machine. I think I had cut my backing a little bit close, or maybe even a little bit smaller than normal, so she did remind me to make sure I give her a little bit more backing to play with next time. I am going to do another one of these quilts. I mentioned this cheater print. I have some more of this, and I actually have some navy fireside. So I'm going to make just a lap quilt with this as the front and the navy fireside as the backing. And I will share that with you next month. I'm actually going to get that ready to go and give to either Marion or my friend Vicki also might quilt that for me. So one of those two will get that quilted, and I'll be sharing that with you in February. Super excited. This is very soft. Marion did say, I did have some emails when we talked about this before about sustainability. This does have polyester in it. So if you are concerned about that, Marion suggested just using flannel if you want a softer backing and you didn't want to use a polyester fabric on the back of your quilt. So just wanted to mention that. Okay, next. And I believe I showed this in the December block of the month video, but it was not quilted. And Marion quilted it, and she just did an all over Baptist fan. She did it pretty dense. I just love how it turned out. I did use the cheater print for the backing on this again, and the gingham. So these are all Strawberry Lemonade fabrics. And again, this is our 2024 block of the month with my smaller blocks. And I have not shown this quilted anywhere yet, so I did want to show this to you. Okay, and now this is the big reveal, the Santa quilt, the bucket list project I've been wanting to make forever, and so excited to have it done. Marion also quilted this one. I did use this print from the Swell Christmas collection for the backing, and I did use the Christmas trees just as in the original quilt for my binding. Just a few comments about this. You actually make an entire log cabin quilt first, and that went together really quickly. I actually happened to have all of the fabrics that were in the kit, and I was able to put it together exactly as it was put together in the kit. Then you place your panel on top, and I use Steam-A-Seam to fuse the panel to the log cabin quilt. And the pattern directions just have you cut little 1 by 2 inch strips and just kind of lay them all the way around everywhere. And then I used a buttonhole stitch. You can kind of see it right here with the white fabric and the black thread that I used. I did use black thread because most everywhere on the Santa you're going around these black fabric areas. And I just did a buttonhole stitch after it had been fused. And then after it's fused, you actually cut out the log cabin blocks from behind the Santa. I actually just left a little bit of that around for stability, and the rest of it was cut out. And that was kind of hard for me because I thought, oh no, I wish I had known exactly what was going to be covered by the Santa and what wasn't. I could have just put some white fabric into that quilt. But you see, down here in the corner, there's some of that original log cabin. And down here, this is all original. So, I guess I could have done the math and figured out exactly and maybe saved myself a little bit of that. But I did save all of the pieces that I cut out from behind here. And there is actually a smaller little Santa panel that was included. And so I'm going to try to utilize the pieces that I cut out, kind of sew them, maybe take them apart a little bit, sew them together in a little bit different configuration, and make a pillow with the small Santa panel. I don't know how quickly I'll get to that. It might honestly just get put into a box until I start doing Christmas sewing again, since I've got so many things that I'm working on right now with an upcoming fabric collection. But I did save those, and I do plan to utilize them for a pillow with that other little Santa. But this was a really rewarding project. Had it up in my house, got it back from the quilter right before Christmas, and so I was actually able to have it in my home for our family Christmas party, and people who came over to our house. Just really, this Santa it just really is kind of a conversation piece when people see it. So really, really excited that this long-term bucket list project is finished. I'm going to show you one thing that I'm also starting right now. I'm going to try to get it done kind of in conjunction with those Valentine's placemats. And this is actually a free little Valentine wall hanging from Fat Quarter Shop called Little Loves. And it finishes up at just 22.5 by 30.5. You can actually get this pattern on their website right now for free. And I just really thought this was darling. So I am going to get this put together along with my little Valentine placemats. And that's just kind of something for me, just for fun, that I'm going to be working on along with sewing with our new fabric collection. So that's kind of what's going on in the Quilting Life Studio right now. And I hope that you're getting a chance to work on all of your favorite works in progress too. Okay, so that's it for the January 2025 Works in Progress video. I'm super happy with some of these finishes and really excited to be starting some of the other new projects that I mentioned. If you enjoyed today's video, please share it with a friend, hit the like button, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Thanks so much for stopping by.